Hi everyone and welcome to the Vegan Mooncat. My name is Mark. Today I'm going to discuss Frank Tufano's video about that vegan teacher. Frank Tufano has been around for a number of years trying to tell everyone that the carnivore diet is absolutely fantastic for the human body. Constantly telling everyone to eat raw animals and raw eggs. All kinds of other nasty, disgusting things that nobody wants to put in their body. And even though Frank has had to recently introduce plant foods into his diet due to how ill the carnivore diet made him, he is still telling everyone that eating meat is absolutely fantastic for you. Eating high amount of animal products isn't the only crazy idea Frank has. He's got loads of absolutely mad ideas, including stuff like you have to shield yourself from everything with tin foil. It's just insane. Frank is your classic carnivore YouTuber. Everyone else is wrong, the science is wrong, everything's a conspiracy. And only he knows the truth, and he's going to pass it to you to make sure that you carry on eating animals for the better of everyone. Now we've completed that brief outline about who Frank Tufano is for anybody who didn't know who he was, let's get into his video where he criticises that vegan teacher from TikTok.
Apparently, a psycho, lunatic, crazy vegan, you know, the average vegan, has gotten very famous on TikTok and is using that fame to spread as much nonsense propaganda about the vegan diet in an attempt to convince as many people to go vegan as possible.
There we go, Frank, starting with the insults straight off the bat. Absolutely no logical arguments, as always, just straight in with the personal attacks. Well done. And if you're going to accuse people of spreading propaganda, at least know what the word propaganda means. I don't think any of the claims that she's made are misleading in the slightest or false. I find it extremely strange that Frank has spent the best part of the last few years promoting everyone eating animal products, raw animal products for the most part at that, and then he's telling everyone that the vegan teacher is absolutely crazy and she's insane because she's telling everyone not to harm animals and to eat fruits and vegetables instead. Does that make any sense to anyone? Certainly doesn't to me. Considering the amount of terrible dietary information that Frank has given to his viewers over the years, I really don't think he should be saying that she's spreading the propaganda. If anyone was spreading propaganda, it's him!
You guys know how the sky is blue? Like you're pretty confident in the color of the sky. Like no one could really convince you otherwise. That's how this person is with the vegan diet. The idea that someone is so brainwashed they cannot be reasoned with is something that eclipses some people's minds. There's nothing going on up there.
Really, Frank? If anyone's brain is eclipsed with false information about dietary requirements, it's yours. You have spent absolutely years telling everyone that eating raw animal flesh is a healthy diet.
Now, for some reason, she has that SJW, gender identification nonsense in her TikTok bio, maybe trying to appeal to everyone. Do we really have to get started off on the wrong foot with that BS? Like I can't tell whether you were born a man or a woman.
The gender identification in their bio may not be important to you, but there are people out there who it is very, very important to, Frank. Why don't you just shut up? If a simple, tiny gesture of putting those words in your bio can help somebody else live a little bit happier in this world, what is your problem with it, Frank? To be honest, Frank, you're just not a nice person.
Plants have protein, they really, really do. Being vegan is healthy, you know it's true. Plants have protein, they really, really do. So why the f aren't you vegan yet? No more excuses for you.
What's the deal? Does she know that a vegan diet inverts gender because it wreaks havoc on your hormones?
A vegan diet inverts gender? Where did you even come up with that, Frank? Where's your scientific evidence? That is one of the craziest things I think you've ever said, and you've said a lot of crazy things. It's absolutely unbelievable the propaganda, correct use of word, Frank, that you try to tell everybody about a vegan diet. It's absolutely insane.
Is she setting an example? I mean, I'm assuming she's gay, which doesn't really help prove the point that a vegan diet is healthy. You know, whether you be an estrogenic soy fairy boy or a hairy chimpanzee banana girl, the vegan diet is certainly for you.
There are so many things wrong with what Frank just said, I don't even know where to start. You're going to have a go at all these people in society who've done you absolutely no wrong whatsoever, just so you can push your agenda of eating dead animals. Absolutely disgusting, Frank.
Animal proteins are the most nutritious foods to the human diet.
According to the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine and the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, nobody needs to eat dead animals. Why not choose the side of compassion instead?
So this is an obvious appeal to authority of these government bodies that tell you what's good for you. But I didn't know the carnivores have infiltrated TikTok as well.
I wouldn't get too excited about that, Frank. Since you made yourself super ill with iron overload on a carnivore diet and had to introduce plant foods, I don't even think the carnivores want you. You're absolutely right, Frank. We should not be listening to these large respected organisations. We should be listening to a disturbed carnivore YouTuber who thinks it's absolutely healthy to eat nothing but raw meat, despises anyone using gender pronouns to make somebody else's life a little bit easier, and thinks that eating a vegan diet will change somebody's gender. I think in this case, Frank, the appeal to authority may be the better option out of the two. Yes, I really do.
No. You cannot buy wool. No. You can't eat honey. No. Go watch Dominion if you forget why.
We should put a vegan in the Arctic with a bunch of wool sweaters and see if they put them on. Only recently have humans been able to clothe themselves, keep themselves warm with synthetic materials. It's always been wool from sheep, animal skins, hide, leather, but I guess all the vegans have to move to Hawaii because they can't tolerate a temperature below 77 degrees Fahrenheit without shivering.
I've got it, Frank. Let's put you in the Arctic with a load of man-made material sweaters and see if you put them on. Or would you just sit there holding out for a wool one, Frank, saying, "No, I'm not putting that one on. It's not from a sheep." I'll tell you what you would do, Frank. You would put on the man-made sweater. Yes, you would. And anyway, Frank, neither you nor me is living in the Arctic. We have a choice. You can go to the shop and you can pick up a wool one, and right next to it you can pick up one that's not wool. I have moved with the times, Frank. I can choose a better option. Why don't you choose a better option instead of coming up with these weird scenarios about vegans wearing sweaters in the Arctic? Come on, Frank, come out of the past, come to me. Come on, Frank, it's safe, it's okay. Come on, Frank.
What's also ironic is that honey is one of the few natural sweeteners available in nature. The stuff vegans eat, fruit, sugar, dried fruit, dates, are all artificial in regards to their limited access.
Frank, I am not going to argue with you that there are many, many more plant foods that we wouldn't have been able to eat years ago that we can now eat because of modern transportation, etc. But isn't that a good thing, Frank? We can now make a better choice. We no longer need to fill nutritional gaps by consuming animals. We can actually get all the nutrition we need directly from the source, Frank. Consuming animals and stuff that comes out of animals, Frank, needs leaving in the past. You keep harping on about what we used to do. Yeah, great, we used to do it, but we don't need to do it anymore, Frank. We now have a lot more nutritional science and we know what's good for us and we know what's bad for us. So why not make a better decision? Because Frank wants to live like caveman. Come on, Frank.
Snack time? Eat figs, not pigs. Snack time? Don't eat dead animals. Eat delicious pineapples.
She's eating a giant bag of dried figs and a can of pineapples. If that doesn't tell you that a vegan diet can't be followed naturally, then I don't know what will.
So what, Frank? She's got dried figs and some pineapple from a tin. Do you hunt, dismember and kill all the animals that you consume, Frank? Or do you just hire the job done by someone else? You get somebody else to do the work for you, Frank, exactly the same way she did with the dried figs and the tin of fruit. But there was one big difference between the two. Her choice didn't involve somebody having to die, Frank.
So that's the end of our sex lesson, girls and boys. You can all put away your carrots and hummus now. Just remember, the only kind of meat that you ever put inside of you is the meat from a vegan boy.
Alright, Frank, you got lucky with that one. That one was a bit weird.
But look at her teeth. They're gray, lacking minerals, like they're about to rot away.
Ah, Frank, I see we can list dentists to the long list of achievements you've had in your life. Not. There are so many other factors why somebody may have bad dental hygiene. Just to try and blame it on veganism to vilify the whole thing, it's just so pathetic.
So you can look up that vegan teacher on TikTok if you want to puke. And overall, I think TikTok is excellent for vegans. They have a short attention span.
Sorry, Frank, what did you say? I'm kidding. There's absolutely nothing wrong with my attention span. I heard every nonsense word you said.
And the question that we have to answer every time is, why do they want you to go vegan? The government, the elite people, why are they shoving the vegan diet down your throats? Very simply, it makes your brain not work. You're much easier to control.
What do you want me to do, Frank? Don't bother, Frank, because I'm not doing anything you suggest, because everything that comes out of your mouth is absolute rubbish. I don't personally see any governments particularly pushing everyone to go vegan. I really don't. It's just not a thing, Frank. That is just in your head. That doesn't mean governments shouldn't be pushing people to go vegan, because they absolutely should. Not only would it reduce animal suffering, but it would also reduce human suffering. There are so many illnesses caused by eating animal products, it's just astronomical. And all this unnecessary illness and misery and expense could be solved by just going vegan. Not to mention the fact that eating meat is completely unsustainable and terrible for the environment. But obviously Frank doesn't believe there's an environmental crisis, so that's a load of nonsense in Frank's eyes. Well, there you go, everyone. That was Frank Tufano. And if you would like to listen to Frank, you can also be someone who doesn't care about animals, someone who doesn't respect gender choice, a complete and utter homophobe, someone who does not believe that we're in an environmental crisis, someone who is so full of that nobody in their right mind could possibly ever respect him. I really don't recommend that you'd listen to anything Frank has to say seriously. Don't emulate his behaviour. Go vegan for the animals, go vegan for your health, go vegan for the environment. Thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. You can also follow me on Instagram at @VeganMooncat, and I'll see you guys next time.